Howdy, YouTube fam. Alright, so, back at it. Last video, got the bay all primed and everything. Since that video, I went ahead and I wet sanded the whole bay with a 400 grit just to knock any of the rough edges off because that sandable heavy build primer usually doesn't lay very flat. So, when I got all the edges, I'm just going to go ahead and wipe it down with a tack cloth. If you've ever painted anything, it's just a sticky cloth. You run it across the surface, pick up any of a little small particulate that may be left. In order to get all the sanding dust off, I just sprayed it down, wiped it down with a paper towel with water, and then sprayed it down with water again, then took the air hose and blew it off. Another thing I did, since I'm in my garage is a fucking disaster right now, is I took the blower and basically sprayed all the dust up off the floor and down, tried to blow it away. I mean, obviously it's not the best method. I thought about wetting the floor, but it's not that serious, so... If I was painting a whole car, I'd obviously be a lot more careful, cleaning the garage, but I'm not cleaning all that right now. So anyways, I'm going to wipe this down, get all the dust off, and then we'll mix up some paint and lay some color on it. Alright, so the paint requires a reducer. So the mixture is 8, 1/2, 1. So it's supposed to be 8 parts paint, half the activator, which you don't have to add, but it helps, I guess, makes it the paint harder. And then, what did I say, 1 or 4 is the last part. So 8, half, 4 is the ratio. So 8 parts paint, half part the activator, and then 4 parts the reducer. So basically what that boils down to is 2 to 1. So you're going to do basically 2 parts paint, 1 part reducer, and then however much you have. If you have 4 ounces of mixed product, then you're gonna add whatever half of a ounce of that is. So I think that's about right. I'm just gonna do a splash, because like I said, it's not really necessary. It's not perfect. It's not. It may affect color, but it'll be alright. Shit'll buff. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and mix some of this stuff up. So, if you've ever used these cups, they may be a little confusing when you look at them. So, these are for your different ratios. So, 1 to 1 would be basically just 1/2, 1/2. Maybe it's 1 to 1. Yeah, with 8 parts. No, because it would be 4 parts, 4 parts. So, 8 parts, 4, yeah. So, 2 to 1. So yeah, 1 to 1 would mean you would fill it up to this line, and then you add whatever your secondary item is up to this line. So that's why you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are just so you can keep track of however much it's. The quantity is really kind of irrelevant. It's just about keeping track of your mixture ratio. So we'll be doing 2 to 1. So we'll probably fill up to about there, and then we'll add our reducer up to about there. If that makes any sense. Pretty simple stuff. Or if you want to do more, if you want to fill up to here, if this is what you wanted your total product to be, you'd fill your first part up to here, your paint, whatever is your highest quantity, and then your second part would be here. Your reducer would be you'd fill the cup up to you reach that line, and then that'll be your 2 to 1 ratio. So I guess I'm gonna do a small mix first. Maybe I'll do a 2, maybe 3. Yeah, we'll do 3. That's a lot. We'll do 3. If I got enough. I should have enough. So. So yeah, I'm not going to go nuts and like wet sand this. I think it looks good enough. I mean, I could go through and wet sand, get it mirror finish, clear, but I'm not. Of course, I'm seeing a bunch of spots I could have did better. I'll go ahead and mix up the pearl coat. So this is our mid coat. It's basically a clear base coat, if that makes any sense. Basically the same type of stuff that your base coat's made out of, but there's no pigment. So you really should be precise about how much of the stuff you add so that you can recreate it. I'm not, because I'm not going to recreate it, you know. It doesn't take a whole lot either. You can kind of see it in there. It's swirly and whatnot. Oops. Looks like the universe. Alright, so I think we got this pretty well coated. A couple of kind of dry spots. Not really orange peely, but a little bit. It's a little orange peely in some areas. Not really too concerned. I think I went a little dry. A lot of, yeah, really conservative, a little bit of overspray there. So yeah, it's not great. And what I should do is wait for this to dry completely and then wet sand it. But I'm not. Totally not. I'm just gonna spray some clear over it so we can close this chapter. This is just clear coat. I don't always recommend this because but you always add a little bit just to give it that little extra. Not a lot, just enough, you know. That's it. All she wrote. All she wrote. Alright, so I think we're done. Be prepared to watch me cry like a baby when I inevitably scratch the hell out of this trying to get this engine back into the bay. But for the most part, you know, she looks pretty good. I'll have to be super careful. So, did 2 coats of clear. I could do more. I think 2 coats is enough. It's already pretty ridiculous looking, so especially for an engine bay. It just doesn't need to be, the camera really doesn't do it any justice because you can't really see just how much gloss is really on there. But that clear coat went on pretty smooth there. Alright, really hard to kind of show off what that really looks like. Like I said, the camera doesn't really... It's kind of hard to show off what that looks like because the camera doesn't really do a real great job of capturing all of that, the shininess. But yeah, it's glossy. So yeah, clear coat went on pretty good. Hopefully it dries fine. Hopefully I don't come out and find it crinkling up and falling off a little bit later. Hopefully it's, like I said, the clear coat really went on really well for a $20 paint gun. You know, this is the $12 gun over there that I used a primer for, and this is supposed to be slightly better for some reason. I like to control the adjustment on this better than the flow adjustment on that one, but yeah, for a guy who doesn't really know what he's doing, pretty good little gun. I will say, had to get in a little bit closer than I think most people would normally spray with this thing. Like I had to get, like if you watch the video, I'm real far in on this thing, especially for spraying the clear, because you really want the clear to go on thick but not running. You know, it really needs to, like if you watch it as it sprays, you should watch it spray on, and then it should just kind of level out and smooth out. And there's a fine line between that and it dripping. So you really gotta know your pace and know your speed and all that stuff like that, and just be comfortable with the gun. I should probably stop saying paint gun. YouTube, don't demonetize me because I'm saying the G word. The paint gun, you really kind of have to watch the paint and kind of somewhat know what you're doing, I guess. But like I said, I don't really know that much from it. I don't paint that much, you know. Like I said, I learned a lot from my dad, but it's been a while. So, anyways, like I said, that gun, it's not a bad deal. Did a pretty good job there. Like I said, this is minimal effort paint job. No sanding between layers. This is just spray it on and go. You can see some spots where the base coat is a little crunchy, and you can tell that it looks pretty crunchy, you know, through the clear coat. But I've said it before and I'll say it again, kids, this ain't a show car, even though I just spent $170 to paint the bay. But anyways, I'm gonna let this set up, and I'll come out and probably take some video and some pictures of it later once it's all dry. But that'd be all you'd be hearing from me. Like I said, I'll take some pictures once it's completely dry, and then or some video, and then we will finish this video up. So, until next time.